Right now, it's time for Oba Gang to make us laugh. Well, I'm sure that he is capable because he won the coveted title of Ekasi World Comedy Tour. Enjoy.
How's everyone doing? Are you guys cool? You guys doing fantastic? You guys feeling great? Yeah. Great. That's the voice I use when I'm trying to get a loan at the bank. Guys, as you can see, my name is Oba Gang, and I'm not originally from Cape Town. I'm from Bloemfontein originally. So by virtue of being in Cape Town, everybody thinks I'm Xhosa. I do not speak Xhosa at all. My Xhosa is very terrible, right? I picked up my Xhosa from church. Right? So every time somebody asks me like a random question, his name will be Moses, just a simple question. Eboti, gamanam do Moses, nje, ipi pick and pay. My answer to him is Moses. Utufuni pick and pay when I'm Moses. Yes, when I'm Moses, you pick and pay. Ushiga lefty, ushiga righty. Uso born pick and pay when I'm Moses. Hallelujah. Yes. That's how I speak to Moses, because that's how I picked up my Xhosa, you know what I mean? But besides that, as you can see, there's one thing that you're going to notice distinctly about me. There's something you're going to notice distinctly about me. I have a big head, right? Like, I have a large head. Like, don't be surprised. Like, don't be, yes, I know. Like, I dream in HD, you understand? Like, like you guys go to sleep at night, I go to the movies. So here's the thing about... Here's the thing about having a big head, right? Is that every time I go to the barber, they always want to charge me more money to cut my hair. It's madness, I hate it. And I go to a Nigerian barber, right? I go to a Nigerian barber. And every time I step inside my Nigerian barber, the first thing you see is just the eyes, just. And they start pointing at each other. Opo Sanju, who's going to cut that head? And there's always a guy at the back, and his name is Obena. Obena! That one is for you. And Obena just goes, Jesus! My brother! That is not a head, that is a football field, yeah? We need a lawnmower to cut this head. Start the generator, we're going to have load shedding here. No. Hate it, man. And sometimes, you know, when your barber busy cutting your hair, your barber always want to ask you random questions, right? They always want to ask you random questions. So when they cut my hair, they always ask me stupid questions as well. My brother, where are you from? From Bloemfontein. Which school you go to? Louis Botha. Were you the head boy? I'm just asking my brother, were you ahead of everybody in the class? And when I moved to Cape Town, I used to think Cape Townians were the most observant people in the country. No? I used to think you guys were so observant. Because everywhere I went, everyone was always aware of everything. And I'm walking around and I hear people going, aware me, bro. I'm like, what the hell is everyone so aware of? And a guy comes up to me, greets me, goes, aware, my bro. I'm like, oh, what's going on here? I'm not aware. Is my shoes untied? My fly open? He's like, relax, my bro, relax. It's just a greeting. I'm like, oh, that's how you guys greet each other out here? I was unaware. Anyway, that is my time. My name is Oba Gang. Peace. And you guys have been a fantastic audience, all 5 of you.
Well, that's the reason why he won. Later on the show, we're going to find out if the title gave him a big head. Oh, no. He was born like that.
Right now, we're going to go to an ad break and see what our people are aware of on the other side of the world. We'll be back right now.
Aware, man. Friday, we have a feature for you that you can vote your favorite artist and their music video to make it #1. Here are this week's top 3. At number 1, once again, is PR and Lengoma. Number 2 is Real with What Mark D. Girl No. And then the third one would be you can go to social media with Excel on Cape Town TV. So you can email us schoolama@capetowntv.org or capetowntv.org or exe@capetowntv.org. Like these people have questions for us. Bulelani Kumlana, who says, hi Exe, I want to visit you guys. How can I do that? And then Ulindo Butle Timani Miley says, dear XF, I just want to know what other steps must be taken by the artist in order to get an interview and slot from you. Umtiwa says, how can I get to perform and have an interview as a local artist on your show? Is there an email that I can use? And then Ulunga Zuele says, hi guys, I'd like to find out how can I get an opportunity and have an interview on the show regarding an event that I'm hosting Ekukuletu at NY49 Stadium. Those email addresses once more, lama@capetowntv.org, yonela @capetowntv.org, or exe@capetowntv.org, or you can call us on 021-448-0448. I'm hoping that since winning this competition, his head does not grow any bigger. His name is Obakeng. He's over by the yellow couches.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And congratulations.
Thank you.
How was the experience for you?
Oh man, it was exhilarating, it was exciting, it was everything under the sun. Like more than what I could actually dream of.
How excited were you? Was it a mixture of nervousness or excitement when you first got into the competition?
It was a bit of both actually. One, it was excitement because I love performing and I love being a part of such things. And eventually just became overwhelming because I think only after I became part of the competition, I noticed exactly how big and what kind of accolades and opportunities rather it comes with. So it was overwhelming because I was still very new. I'm still very new in comedy, you know what I mean? So all of those things were very overwhelming at the time.
So back to basics.
Yeah.
Who is Obakeng?
Obakeng, by trade a graphic designer, so that's what pays the bills. Comedy will soon, you know. I'm originally from Bloemfontein. I started in hip hop actually, so I can do some rapping as well. Yeah, I did that for years, and then moved to Cape Town about 6 years ago, and pursued a little bit of music here and there. But I've been a fan of stand-up comedy for a very long time. So yeah, I decided to just give it a go and try it to see if this little funny bone I have kind of works. And yeah, fast forward to now, here I am.
Evidently.
Yeah.
Who introduced you to the comedy scene? Or do you have a favorite comedian maybe?
There's so many to mention, man. Look, my favorites will always be like, Dave Chappelle and Richard Pryor and those people. But where I started connecting real with comedy was when I saw South Africans do it. So like back in the Pure Monati days, your Kagiso Letijas, your Loyiso Kolas, because that's one of the first times I saw comedy that reflected me directly. You know what I'm saying? Because with American comedy, you always see, we have similarities, but they're not always direct. Now, when you hear comedy in your own language or with references that you know, it makes it all the more, visible for you, I guess. So.
How did you find out that you're funny?
I crack people up everywhere I go. No, look, humor has always been the way that I connect with people. I have this kind of rule: if I can't laugh with you, we can't be friends. You know what I'm saying?
How can people tell that Obakeng is being serious right now? Like, I'll tell you about the guy that is coming after you, Uriza. He's our co-host. I don't believe him when he says he's going to be late. I don't believe him when he says he's got a stomach ache because he's always telling jokes. How can people get familiar with the serious side of you? How can we tell?
Well, for me, there's a time and place for everything. You know what I mean? When I need to be serious, you will definitely know. Most of the time, I'm a goofball. I'm always joking. But when it's time to get serious about things that are serious, I treat them as such because for me, it's a form of respect, respecting people's time, respecting people's opinion and feelings and those kind of things.
So we can expect you to make us laugh at a funeral?
Yes, you can. You can. Because actually we need laughter at a funeral, trust. You know what I mean? But when everything has a time and a place. There's a time to laugh, but also there's a time to be serious.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier that you crack people up everywhere you go. I know I'm funny. I'm mad funny. However, I do not know if I'm stand-up comedy funny. How do you then find, okay, there's a thin line, obviously, if you're just generally a funny guy, and then stand-up comedy.
Look, there's a lot of technicalities and sort of disciplines that go behind how to write stand-up. And that comes from just one, researching the thing, knowing the structure of how comedy works, setting up punchlines and that kind of thing. But the only way you can actually do it is if you try, man. There's really very little to no rules into how you enter, but there's a whole lot of those technicalities in writing, in doing, working on your setups and all of those things. And it also comes from your point of reference, you know what I mean? What you consider funny and if other people will see the same way. And also what your message is. What are you trying to do? Are you just trying to make people laugh? Or are you trying to make people see things differently? Are you trying to bring perspective? it's all of those things bottled into whatever, you know, your perspective is, I guess.
Speaking of the techniques of how you do things on stage,
Yeah.
What's the most challenging thing about being a comedian, and what's the most rewarding thing about being a
The
comedian?
challenging thing is hoping people will laugh. That, trust me, that is that. I always say, like, comedy is very brutal. It's an abusive relationship. That's exactly what it is, you know. But the most rewarding thing about it is hearing people respond to your act and all these things that you've been having in your head, and positive response. Actually, we live off all that because as a comedian, laughter is your only currency, and
Yeah.
that's what we thrive off of.
And how do you approach life in general?
With a positive spirit, man. It is what it is. I'm here to live it, and I can only live it to the best of my ability. So
Who's
go
the
out there and
worst
do it.
comedian that you've ever watched?
Who's that?
Worst.
Who's the worst?
Come on now.
Wow, no, I cannot think of
You
anyone
can.
at the moment.
You
My career is
can.
still very brand new. I
Use the
know.
3D situation, find him there.
I shall not name names.
We are
Can we put?
Basamba.
No, Ndiabayika Shem.
Okay, there we go.
You mentioned some of the challenges is going in front of an audience and then having them not laugh at all.
Yeah.
Have you experienced that once? Can you tell us about the experience where the audience itself wasn't
Yeah.
as receiving of your jokes?
Wow, man, it's two things. It's very hurtful
Yeah.
because you realize that there's so many things that you don't always connect to people the same way.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
also it's a learning experience. It teaches you to rethink your material.
Yeah.
Some things that you think are funny may not be for the next person. And also it teaches you resilience, man. Just because you're on stage and people are laughing at that moment doesn't mean you don't have talent. It means there's something not working in that particular circumstance because of either, you know, a disconnection between your audience, or you just need to better your material.
So you've never had a situation where you had to cut your last 7 jokes because nobody's laughing? You're like,
Not
never
really,
mind, that's
not
my
there
name.
yet.
I'm
I
gone.
am hilarious, so not yet. Not there. But I've had situations where I get pity laughs. You know, you
Yeah.
can hear one laugh at the back,
Oh.
and that's not that great. But it can only teach you, and those are the moments that you actually need as a comedian. You need to go on stage and die. That's what we call it, dying on stage. You know?
Dying on stage,
So that you come back and rethink your material and rewrite, and it ultimately makes you a better performer, so that you know how to avoid those kind of situations.
Most people, especially the elderly, would perceive comedy as some silly situation.
Right.
So how did you manage to turn the silly, your passion that you have, into a career?
I'm still working on that, to be quite honest. I'm working on making it, because like I said, I'm still brand new in comedy. The only way you can turn it around is to show and prove, you know what I mean? It's to make it more than just standing on stage. It's to bring a different perspective, show that you are a multifaceted person as an artist. Because ultimately in this entertainment business or in this media industry, you have to be multifaceted. So your brand of comedy and your brand of artistry will eventually lead you into the kind of things that you will be involved in.
Yeah.
And those are the things that you make in an entire career out of.
Good for you,
That's how
because
do it.
if you didn't win the Ekasi Comedy Tour, you wouldn't be here.
Of
Actually.
course, only important.
How was that experience, and where to from here?
Oh man, this experience has been easily the best experience of my life. Easily. I mean, I've been performing at the Funny Festival since it started.
Yeah.
I was originally meant to perform only one show, and now I'm doing practically the whole festival, and it's overwhelming. I'm meeting some of the best comedians in the country and internationally as well.
Yeah.
And to have been, you know, given that kind of opportunity so early in my career, it's more than what I could have asked for, man. I'm nervous every day, but yet I have a reason to wake up every day because I get to go on a big stage and make people laugh, and ultimately that brings me joy.
Congratulations and all the best for the future.
Thank you so
And
much.
Keep
Thank you
on
so much.
making us laugh.
No
because
damn doubt.
Laughter a day keeps the doctor away.
And the
Well,
bills come into my pocket.
Oh!